Hello, knockouts. Tanya TKO here. And I'm a self love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. Today, we have a really special treat. The title of today's video is Attention Sistas. Whose side are you on? We've been talking about Black women married to the enemy. Are they the enemy? We're gonna dive deep into that as well. There were some pictures that went viral of, hold on. Oh goodness. Sorry. Had to remove something from my broadcast. Sorry about that. There were some pictures of Black women who went viral for being exposed as being married to men of the Proud Boys, who was the same group that is labeled as a white supremacist group that was heralded by Donald Trump during the debates, telling the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. And then they were out there in those streets pummeling the Capitol, taking it under siege in their insurrection to try to perform some sort of coup because they didn't want us to have a free and fair election. So they were among those. And it was exposed that there were two men. If you want their names, you could go back to that video. But nonetheless, that caused a lot of controversy. You all were saying that Pink Pill in her video said that the Proud Boys were not a racist organization. You all were also saying some things that may have been misquoting to Pinky. So what have we here? We are collaborating with Pinky right now. We're going to bring her forward. So just to give you all an introduction, I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I am a life coach with a specialty in relationship coaching. And on this channel, we use viral topics to talk about self-love. So where is the self-love in the women dating men with problematic presence? Listen, let's pull Pinky out. Let's pull Pinky to the front. Okay. Pinky.
Hello, and greetings from the clouds.
You're so funny. Welcome on. You look fantastic, my sister.
Yeah, I'm out here. I needed some fresh air. Yesterday was tough. Last night was tough.
Yeah, I heard you did a video that was very emotional. There were a few people who sent the link to me, and I'll probably play a little bit of that in this video if that's okay, because they said that there was okay, perfect. All right, so welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. So we are live right now with the Pink Pill. And so listen, I'll let you run your intro.
Okay. Yesterday I was very, very upset because I was notified about a Black woman in Los Angeles, which is not far from where I live. Los Angeles is only an hour and a half or so away. And she was confronted by protesters, pro-Trump protesters, and their Stop This Steal protest. And she was attacked. A white woman ripped off her wig, and she was punched, pummeled, beaten with flagpoles, and the reports say that the LAPD was present.
Oh my gosh!
And did nothing. It was very, very upsetting to me. And what was also upsetting is that there were two Black men at that Stop the Steal rally that appeared in the picture right next to her as she was being attacked. I just was focusing on the one Black guy, but there were two. And they actually, while people were focusing on her, the people in the crowd were first focusing on her, the Black men were looking away, filing their fingernails with the nail polish, comfortable and content in their femininity, resting well in their femininity. And my position is this: Black women are not safe in on the right. They are not safe on the left. If we need to choose a side, we need to choose our side.
Yes.
And start advocating for first of all, stay home. Stay home. But then understand that because we don't have any collective alliances, not on either the right or the left, and even within our communities, you have to find it on an individual basis. And what I saw some disturbing comments, some comments from some Black men. You know, they love to troll us, Tanya. And so they were saying, well, this is what you get when you're with the white man. So you want to be with the white man, so just deal with what you got. And I was like, well, I could say the same thing. So Black women who are, you know, completely Black love focused, I could say, well, this is your choice to be with the Black man. So just be happy with whatever you get. Because we're not protected in any real way. From what I understand, the Black woman has previously protested for Black Lives Matter.
Lord have mercy. Are you serious?
Yes. And not only that, and this is what I don't agree with. And when I say that, when I say what I'm about to say, this is no way blaming the victim. She should not be blamed in any way. But what she did was she took out her camera phone and started recording, said, I don't care about this thing. You know, I don't, you know, she made an opinion about Trump, and she flipped them off. And my whole thing is this: Black women, we need to understand basic principles like addition. Because you need to understand the principle of being outnumbered.
Oh, child, listen. Speak on it, sister. Speak
on
it.
And you're a singular person, and you think that you're going to take on a horde of rabid Trumpsters who are angry, and you're going to, you know, and you think somehow the numbers don't matter, that basic addition doesn't matter. Let me put it to you this way. What if a white supremacist walked by 40 Black Lives Matter protesters and was like, white power? What happened to him? Like basic addition. Understand when you are outnumbered. Put your head down. Put your straw hat on. Keep your head down and keep walking. I don't. And that's the thing. It's like I was saying in my other video. I said people are literally putting rocks in our hands, telling us to throw them, and then they're going off to hide. And so Black women are now like sort of in this emboldened state of, you know, being these warriors. But then when we're in danger, there is nobody there to protect us, stand in the gap. We're losing our jobs. We're going to jail. We're putting our children in danger. Where is the, you know, where is the compensation? Where is the protection for this woman who marched for Black Lives Matter? Where is Black Lives Matter on the fact that the LAPD just sat there? Where are the Black Lives Matter?
You know, listen, let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about staying on code, right? Because I didn't speak on that issue. I didn't speak on the young lady who was at the protest, because when I saw the footage, she was standing there amongst these rabid lunatics, or people who seem to be rabid and lunaticish. And she just, because some people sent me articles, and in the articles, they were like, oh, this woman was on her way home. But when I saw her, she wasn't moving. And so I didn't speak on it because I was like, you know what? This is my little portion of staying on code, because she needed to get her Black ass the hell on. If you happen to walk upon a rally where you are outnumbered and outgunned, the hell are you doing standing up there in the middle of all of these people, pulling out your phone and making political statements when you're by yourself? And you're right. I think it has a lot to do with this this mentality of the strong Black woman, and how how people always talk about, oh, Black women, they saved us again. And so now we think that we are these, I don't know. I say that I am a princess, but I say run. When you are like that woman who was in the parking lot when that man smacked down her phone and then decided the racist or white supremacist, whoever he was, who cornered her in the parking lot, smacked her phone in her hand, and then she punched him, and then she started getting punched down. I'm like, why are you standing up there thinking about fighting a man? I'm like, get the hell away from these crazy ass people, because you don't know what they mean you. You don't know if they mean you any good or harm.
Right. And here's the thing, and we talked about this briefly on the phone. Coming from a place of empathy, coming from a place of knowledge that there are very few things that Black women in our community and outside of the community are rewarded for.
Yes.
We're not rewarded for our the I don't know, what am I trying to say? We're not
rewarded for being highly educated. We're not rewarded.
There are different layers of femininity. And Black women are feminine, but they spend a lot of time in the mode of Amazonian feminine. Okay. And so we are rewarded for being in the energy of the Amazonian. And we are not rewarded for our beauty. We are not rewarded for how hard we work. We're mocked for having PhDs. There are very few things that Black women are rewarded for, but fighting we are rewarded for.
Yes, if you want to get some accolades, go out there and get yourself a picket sign.
Exactly. It is. And so when you think about, as a human being, and you want acceptance, you want love, you want people to you want people to approve of you. And if this is the only way that you can get approval, then it is understandable why so many Black women take that position. Because if this is the thing that you can get rewarded for, praise for, and a temporary feeling of love, it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? And especially if you're looking for accolades from Black men, as well as male identified Black women. The one thing that you can do is stand up there, pick your hair out into an afro, throw your fist in the air, get your precious little daughters, and have them looking all stressed out in pictures, talking about some. You remember the picture of that little girl who's like, and I'm like, this is a damn. With all my muscle matter. That's the same way that little girl was out there. Like, listen. Listen. And she was out there, and my heart broke for her, because I'm like, this little girl need to have a damn toy in her hand. She need to be someplace getting ready for her preparatory schools or whatever it is that she's going to be doing, but not out there on the damn front lines, braids swinging in the wind as her poor little rippling child muscles are there talking about some. I mean, it was too much. It was too much. It was too much. So, so we probably.
Do you see the indoctrination? So she's being rewarded. She's getting accolades. You're getting on the cover of New Yorker magazine as this depiction of this little Black girl who's like taking over the world. She should be at like at the American, the American Doll convention. I mean, she should be there. I mean, she should, out riding a bicycle. I mean, she should be out playing hopscotch and double dutch. But no, you understand the messages. And so that image is being rewarded, and it's happening very early on. And when you talk about a group of women who are rewarded for little else, you understand it. And I'm not saying.
Let me ask you a question. And I want to do this in the audience. I want to take a survey for the audience as well. What are Black women rewarded for? What are the things that we are rewarded for and be like, good job. Oh, Black women did that. What are we rewarded for? I want to know.
That's a really good question. Really good question.
I'm looking for the answers in the audience. You can answer since you're on the stage. What are we rewarded for?
We're rewarded for fighting. We're rewarded for standing up for Black men. We're rewarded for standing up in front of the police. We're rewarded for saying there's no other man in the world for me except for the Black man.
Mm.
We're rewarded for it, but we're not. We're rewarded with empty words, pats on the back, but we're not rewarded in any real action long term.
Wow, are you seeing these comments?
Yeah, sexuality. We're rewarded for having big butts. You know what I mean? I wasn't, we're rewarded if we won the genetic lottery and we're, we come out a few shades lighter. These are the things that we're rewarded for.
Wait, that's the lottery?
In the Black community, in the colorist Black community, that's winning the lottery. Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at this.
No, someone said twerking. Yeah, we're rewarded for twerking. No, we're not. We're rewarded for selflessness. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And do you understand that if that is the only reward and accolade that you get, what decisions are you going to make in life if you know that the only way you're going to be rewarded and showed any kind of love and any sort of recognition are these things? What are you going to do? How are you going to live your life?
Yeah.
And for your body and for being sexual, what decisions are you going to make so that you continue to have those rewards?
Oh, listen to what Choki says. We are congratulated but never rewarded. What are your thoughts on that? That's
Absolutely. Deep. Reward. Okay, and I don't even know if
rewarded. Congratulations.
Reward implies an action, right? Okay. Reward implies that there's an action that happens, but there is no. It's all empty words. We're rewarded with empty words, but the actions don't reflect the words that are communicated. And love is an action. Love is an action. And are we truly being loved by our communities, by the world at large? Because if love is an action, how are Black women being loved right now?
Oh, that's deep. How are we being loved? Okay. I mean, I think that this is deep because when you think about, and I showed that video of myself from when I was younger and people were like, oh, Tanya, you seem so much softer then and all this other stuff. But I was really playing down my intelligence. I was not using my voice. I was trying to be giggly and all of this other stuff because those were the things that people found pleasing, and
somebody just said, didn't you reward your children with lighter skin? No. Somebody in the chat said that. No, honey, I rewarded my children with trust funds. That's what I rewarded my children with. Get it right. Get it right.
You rewarded your children with Lord of mercy.
I rewarded my children with trust funds.
You rewarded your children with a father who's going to be there day in and day out, who wakes up and when they're sick in the middle of the night, gets up and assists them, carries them on their shoulder and shows them that they're protected. She rewarded her children with a full-time father. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but what is the alternative to that?
Exactly.
What's the alternative? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you go narrate a story about my life, about what I rewarded my children with, get it right. I rewarded my children with trust funds. I rewarded my children with this. This is what I rewarded my children with.
It's breaking up. I want to see. Move out the way. Let me see them hills. Ooh, child, look. This the life right there. Pinky, when can I come down for a visit?
I've been trying to invite you.
I need some reward. I need some reward too. You are so cute. I love you. I love you. I can see why people would not resonate with your arrogance, because you're supposed to be humble. I hate that statement, be humble.
I worked for everything that I got, everything. I deserve everything I have, everything I worked hard for, all of the work internally, the challenging myself, the bravery that it took for me to get out of a certain level of what was expected of me. The everything I have, I worked hard for it. Everything, and I deserve everything. My children deserve everything. Black women, when you work for it, when you are brave, when you work hard, you deserve it too. That's my point. My entire
hold on. Hold on now.
Black woman who can see how to, you know, maneuver. Okay, these are the challenges, and then maneuver around them. You deserve it too. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Hold on though. Hold on, because we're crossing into a territory now that Shira 7 would have to come and school us on. Is it that we deserve it when we work hard, or we deserve it just because? Listen.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's funny that you mentioned that, because she was going to be on my show tonight, the Pinky Powwow. You guys, everybody who's on here right now, make sure that you join the Pinky Powwow. We're going to talk about the good side of being bad. And
I like that.
Yeah. And you know, like it's like with you, Tanya. I don't agree with everything you say.
Why are you throwing that out there?
But I learned. But listen, I learned it. But it's like, Shira said something to me that was just so profound. Like it. I have been going through years and years of therapy, and something she said to me in our 30-minute conversation was worth all of the therapy that I had.
Oh, drop the gems, girl. Drop the gems.
She said that, I told her, I was like, you know, I don't speak a lot about like self-love and stuff. That's why I wanted to, that's why I love working with you. You address that. I love that she works on the more mercenary Machiavellian side of things. I think they're all important. And I said, the reason why I don't spend a lot of more time on self-love, because it's still an evolution for me. And she said to me, this is what I tell people. And you know how she talks. This is how I tell people. I say, you are not just a body. You are a soul. So love your soul. And I was like,
yeah, that is deep, powerful.
We can find everything wrong with our bodies, right? We can say, oh, I wish I wasn't this shade, or I wish I looked like this, or I wish I had this kind of hair. I wish I was skinnier. I wish my nose was this. I wish my mouth was this. I wish my teeth were straighter. I wish this and that, the other. And she's like, you are not a body. You are a soul. And once you love your soul, it gives you a different perspective of what you feel your entire self deserves.
Yes.
I was like,
oh, that's nice. I'm glad you were able to receive that.
Yeah.
That's dope. All right. So listen, I'm going to pull up your video. Did you show what happened to the young lady in your video?
I love the article. And so let me set the stage right here. So because people came to, there's two things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about what I talked about yesterday, and then I want to talk about the Proud Boys. Okay. I want to talk to you about the Proud Boys. So the first thing is this video that the article that I read. I actually read a news article from the LA Times after reading and sort of cross-referencing other news articles so I could get the details, because I'm all about, I'm telling Black women in 2021, Google is the champ. Okay, go out and do your research. And so I'm looking at all these accounts, and they're all the accounts of this Black woman who was attacked by Stop the Steal protesters, and was grabbed by a very burly looking, it looked like he was like straight out from like one of those like Outlander, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Outlander.
I'm trying to find that picture of him. Where is that in your video?
It's, I don't know where it is. I mean, I can show you I can give you the link and I can show you what he looked like. If one of your mods can probably post the link. It's on Twitter of the man grabbing her, right?
All right. Yeah, I won't be able to click the link from here.
Yeah, so one of the mods, if one of the mods, Black Buddha, or one of you guys can post the link of the man grabbing her, that would be really very much appreciated.
Okay. So let me, here we go. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. It's in your video.
Okay,
you see it?
They said it was like 20 minutes in.
Oh, I'm scrubbing through and the thing is not on the screen.
Yeah, it's not.
There it is. I was showing the whole everything from the video. It wasn't even on the screen. All right.
Yeah.
So let me scrub back through this. So this is at 34 minutes. And then so I'm going to show some of the earlier pictures. So this is her getting the wig snatched off of her. So this is a woman right there.
Yeah, this is after she got her wig snatched off.
Well, no, this right here. Can you see the screen? There might be a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, no, she's about to get her wig. Yeah, she's about to get her wig snatched off. Yeah, I'm looking at it's a delay because I'm only seeing it from the playback. But she's about to get her wig snatched off by the older white woman.
All right, so this is where she's about to get her wig snatched off, and you're showing this guy right here in the background. So this black guy right there. Yes. Oh, and look, there's another one on the right.
Black guy with the MAGA hat on.
Yes, and they're just watching her. Wow. Yes. Unbelievable. So that's him right there.
Well, they're not even watching. They're looking away. They're looking away. They're not even watching her.
Yeah, and I showed that footage of the woman who was in the store harassing that man and attacking him, and people still stood up for her, stood beside her, stood in the gap for her, and even pursued the man out of the store and lied with her.
See?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it's going to take. Like, I really don't know. And so now people, so in the comment section.
So there's the picture of the guy grabbing her.
Yeah, and so in my comment section, they're saying, Christelyn, you need to do your research. This platform is too important for you not to do your research. And I'm like, what do you mean? I cited the LA Times, Washington Post, KTTV, CBS News. What are you talking about? And they're saying she's now recanting. She's now recanting, and that she doesn't know who stood in the gap for her. But I sent you a link, Tanya.
Yeah, I'm going to play that link. So tell us what it is that we're seeing in this photo right here. So in this photo is the red-bearded man holding her by her arms. It looks like a hand is coming from the right-hand side. It looks like the hand is like hitting her or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, and he is carrying her. He's getting ready to carry her. Yes, you see the hand, the fist right there. He's holding her, and look at him. He's looking straight ahead. If he wanted that woman to be hit, he would be looking at that guy smiling. He is looking straight ahead because he's looking, I believe, the way that the picture looks, it looks to me that he's looking straight ahead, trying to find a place to take her.
Okay. All right. So, this just reminds me of, the old auctions where enslaved women's bodies were standing out naked in front of crowds of people who would poke and prod and touch and all this other stuff. Because I'm like, one, why are these people feeling so comfortable touching her body, touching her hair, putting their hands on her, just being just mobbish, right?
Even if she had her phone out, Tanya, even if she flipped them off, she didn't put her hands on anybody. She didn't put her hands on anybody.
Yeah. So, you know what? I think I have a link of the footage. Do I have a link of the footage of her?
You have a link of what the woman said about the man holding her.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to play that link. Let me just show the footage real quick. where let me show the footage with what they did with her. So they picked her up, they took her to like a line of police officers, and then she got pepper sprayed. If you remember that, right?
Get pepper sprayed by the police or by the
Yeah,
people
by the police. The police pepper sprayed everyone in front of them.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like somebody brought her to the LAPD and said, "Here, mace her."
Right. No, well, I don't know what they said to her, in terms of what they I have the footage, but I think the footage might be on Instagram. I want to see that footage. Who knows where that footage is, because I want to show the actual footage. I showed it in my video that I did the other day, but that video got age restricted. Let's see. Hold on. You know what? Go ahead. Take the floor over. I'm going to find that footage.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So this was a scene of complete mayhem. The thing that struck me the most was that, and was very disheartening in that moment, was that people observed while she was getting pummeled and beaten and maced. And even the photographers, they were like, "Oh, let me take a picture." Why in that moment did no one think this woman is in distress? This woman is in distress. The guy was not protecting her, though, SMJ. Okay, I'm going to show the footage. Like I said, we don't know. Do you know? Okay, so why are you... I want to know this. Why are you invested in believing that? Why are you invested in believing that when she said with her own words that this man did that? Why are you more invested in the subsequent recounts? Why are you more invested in making this man the villain while you have no smoke for the two Black men who sat there filing their fingernails and painting their nails? Why do you have the smoke for him when she said out of her own mouth, and there's a video that we're going to show where she says that that's what he did? Where is the smoke, SMJ, for the two Black men who sat there with their MAGA and Trump? Because what I'm seeing is a focus, and this is what I'm talking about. There are powers that be who want us to focus on this being a race issue. Yes, there are racists. There are definitive. Let me say this very clearly and concisely. There are racists in these Stop the Steal protesters. There are also Black people who are there, clearly. Black Lives Matter is not purely altruistic for all Black people. That there is an agenda for Black Lives Matter to focus on Black men while completely ignoring Black women. Where were the Black Lives Matter people to demand there be a single arrest for anybody who was there at that protest that pummeled that girl? Why, in every account, there are no arrests being made to a woman who was beaten, who had her wig snatched from her, who worked, where you had a crowd of people who deliberately tried to humiliate her? So if Black Lives Matter is so altruistic about Black people, why do they ignore Black women? So please don't come to me. And so we're talking about Black women, whose side are you?
Okay, so I found it. And so let me just say this. I heard some of the founders of Black Lives Matter speaking, and they said that their organization is was created to combat police brutality. So there's a lot of other types of Black violence and violence against Black people, and even violence Black people commit against one another, and civilians committing against Black people. But the organization was created to combat, police officers and police violence. So I found the video inside.
Wouldn't an act of violence? But wouldn't an act of violence also be omission of assistance?
Listen, I'm gonna play this video.
LAPD stands by and does nothing when they see somebody getting beat up by a mob. Isn't that also an act of violence?
You know what? Let's explore that. Let me play this video and then let's explore that. Okay. This is I had to go to my video where I played it at originally. So we're going to watch this. And so this is, let me see if I can get the volume up on this. That's her right there. Let's play. And then look, so a man goes to punch her, and look, another man comes up and hits her. You see that, right? And then they start dragging her towards her. And now look, all of this. Ladies, please keep your asses at home.
Exactly.
This is why I'm asking Black men, what are you going to do? So you see that, right? These men, they don't see you as a woman.
They do not.
They don't see you as a woman. Black, they don't see you as a woman. Okay, no. So there's a Cash App that just came in. Let me try from Ciara say. Let me fast forward this a little bit. So you all saw that. And then remember I played this video right here of the white woman in a grocery store pursuing this man, and she's pursuing him. So this is a white female aggressor. Give me 1 second. I know I'm quiet right now. It's just that I'm trying to find this. This is a white female aggressor, pretty and dainty. She is aggressing upon this man. Let's play this from the beginning so that you can see. All right, so look, she's behaving. Look. Look, you see her, right?
This guy hit a woman. Stop.
Oh my God.
And she's screaming, he assaulted me.
This guy hit a woman.
Oh my God.
I'm not crying on him.
Call the cops. You just hit a woman. This guy hit a woman. You hit a woman, bro.
You hit a woman, bro.
You hit her.
And this is a big buffalo of a woman. All right, let me stop this. And she won't leave this man alone. He's trying to get away from her. She's attacking him. So
I just say something about how she's lumbering towards this man.
Did you say lumbering, girl? She's like, so listen. Like someone from Donkey Kong. I'm sorry. So you remember Donkey Kong and how he was like, right. So the Black woman in the crowd, she gets hit. Well, the woman tries to snatch her wig off. She turns around and punches it. It's like, come on. We have got to have control of self. She did not need to have her Black ass inside that group. She needed to get the hell on. So then in that picture, let's play the video. So you're saying she came out and she said, this man protected me. I was a little feeling a certain way about seeing her grabbed up like that, because it's like, I don't know, because if you're trying to get a person out, you cover over them and you pull them towards, but to hold a person like that where they can't move their arms, I don't know.
When you're trying to pick somebody up.
Yes, pick them up though.
You have to grab them. Like when I have when you're trying to pick up somebody at a certain height and weight, You have to, it's called leverage. Okay. So you pick them up while they're stiff, and it is easier to pick somebody up and place them somewhere else. Anybody who has children knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, listen, I'm just saying that if I would imagine, because
like I said, I'm just going by.
okay,
I need to make it clear. I'm not caping for. Listen, I'm not caping for white men.
I'm going to play the link that you sent me. Okay,
I'm just going by what the numerous reports that I read and saw before I opened my mouth to speak. Yes, just play it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this. I'm going to get the next video into the queue.
I am a hero.
Right?
Still is caping for white men. Okay, play the video, please, Tanya. Play it.
Do you know? Listen, we both can't be short fused. I need you to be the level-headed one, because you know I got a hair trigger sometimes.
Play it.
Okay, is it up on the screen yet?
Yes.
Okay, all right, wonderful. So here we go.
And here in LA, the LAPD is now launching a hate crime investigation after speaking to the woman you see here, surrounded by protesters in these widely shared photos. Tonight, that woman says she was called racial slurs and she was assaulted, but she wants to clear the air about who she says attacked her and the person who finally stepped in to save her. NBC4's Hetty Chang with her story and new video of that incident.
These photos, widely shared on social media, show protesters outside of LA City Hall surrounding 25-year-old Berlinda. One image shows someone pulling her hair. Others show a man bear hugging her while she's getting pepper sprayed at close range.
Oh, is that pepper spray?
Berlinda tells NBC4 tonight the man holding her from behind, who has been vilified on social media as one of her attackers, is quite the opposite.
That guy, I call him my hero because.
Wait, pause it there.
Was whispering in my ear, telling me, "Going, you're okay. I got you. I have your phone."
Okay, all right. Oh, okay. So
is my hero. So what was that you were saying about Christelyn caping for white men, racist white men? Can somebody please? Where are you? Where are you?
Oh my Lord.
Okay, keep playing.
You are like a chihuahua.
I am.
Like you're like, and you're so cute and petite.
And it doesn't matter what I say. I'm still caping for white men. I'm still caping for white men. I'm telling black women to stay home, stay out of it, stay out of Black Lives Matter protests, stay out of Trump protests. I'm saying, please stay home and do your fingernails. You still caping for white men. You love white men. You hate black men. I just did a whole video with Lance Groves. I work with Lance Groves. I'm doing I showed a video where Lance Groves was giving money away to people in the community. You hate black men. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter. Can you finish, please, playing the video?
Okay, I only stopped it because you asked me to.
I know. Okay. I just because I needed to bark. I had to do everything.
Here we go. This woman looks stressed. You know what? Hold on. Let me pull this thing back up on the screen. Let me pull this back up on the screen, child. She looks stressed. See, this is, you don't need to be looking like this, black women.
It's Lance growth, as in like growth of leaves and flowers.
Oh yes. Listen, look, look at the veins in her forehead, everything. She just looks stressed.
Wouldn't you be?
No, because I wouldn't be there. No, I would not. Because my ass, listen, I'm from New York. I don't stay around for nonsense. I'm from the Bronx too. I've had to come home many a night, late in the midnight hour. When I see trouble, I move. I get the hell out of there. Now, I mean, listen, let me just say, ladies, it ain't worth it.
No.
To try to be superwoman. Yeah. Didn't Cheryl Pepsi Riley, was she the one who sang "I'm not your superwoman"?
Yeah, I'm not
your superwoman. No, I'm not your superwoman. Stay, get the hell out of there. Just run, get away. You gotta know your limitations, and you don't need to be out there
I'm not good at math. Girl, I'm not good at math. I'm terrible at math, but I know the concept of basic addition. And I know when I'm outnumbered.
She was outnumbered, all right. Let's continue forward in the video because listen, ladies, you don't need to be looking like this. Stress the hell out, veins popping out your forehead, wig ripped off. You don't need to be looking like this. I'm sorry, you need to be at home. What Pinky said, painting your fingernails, you need to be like, baby, let's go do that. For real. Soul Saya is saying she was walking by. No, she was congregating. She pulled out her phone to make some snarky comments, political comments, and film the people around her, antagonizing them. Just get the hell out of there. Just leave. She was not just walking. It's not like she was walking by minding her business. And they were like, Naker, let's get her. She was amongst them. We just showed the video of it. We just showed the video. So, and you know what? And this is when staying on code goes bad, because we sit there and we ignore our bad behavior, our behavior that can be done in a different way. So listen, I am not attacking that girl. No one should be putting their hands on anyone. I am just using this as a lesson for you all out there, as a teachable moment, because if there's anything that we talk about in my videos, are teachable moments. What is the teachable moment there? That you're surrounded and outnumbered and outgunned, and you pull out your phone as superwoman to be like, Black Lives Matter. That's right. Take your black ass home, and that's where it matters. If your life matters, keep it safe. Get away from these people. Listen, these people are dangerous. How many more instances over hundreds of years of examples do we need to know that these people don't give an F about your life, about your body, about your finances, or about your babies? How many examples do we need? How many more school shootings need to happen? How many more? These people can be very volatile and reckless. Just get away. If you see them congregating and they sound angry and they're hollering to their dear leader, just get the hell away from there. Just go. I'm sorry. And listen, we just saying this in this video. I'm not going to stick up on any nationwide thing and say this. I'm saying this on my platform because my platform is mainly Black women. And I'm telling you, get the hell out of there. When people are fighting, when white men are aggressing upon you, when Black men are aggressing upon you, don't stand up there. What you talk? Who you think you talking to? Like, it's 12 o'clock at night. Run! Just run! Just get out of there. Just move. Save your life.
Basic instincts of survival, of self-preservation have been so beat out of Black women that we literally walk into burning buildings. What? We're literally walking towards the bullets. Like, it has been beat out of us. And it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of what we're rewarded for. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Do I need to show the video footage of the Black woman in the parking lot? All right. You know what? Let's take this. Okay, let's finish this. Let's finish this, and then we'll show it. We'll show it. Because it's like some things we just don't need to be doing. You know, it's like we know what type of country we live in. We know what it is. Like if a police officer pulled you over and he's acting stupid and you out there by yourself, you may be right. But I'd rather be alive and right than dead and right. You know what I'm saying? Like Sandra Bland, she started getting into an argument with this man. Why? To show that you're big and bad, to show that you're a social justice warrior and they shouldn't be speaking to. These people are fucking dangerous. They're armed and they're fucking dangerous. Get your black ass out of there. The name of the game, it's like if you're playing Black people Monopoly, the name of the game is make it home safe. That's it. That's it. Make it home safe.
Yes.
The name of the game is not show how much you could give your. Look, there are certain people who have the privilege to be able to do that. At this span in time where we are at, especially if you are alone and you are outnumbered and outgunned, the name of the game is make it home safe. That's it. That's it. It's not about how cute you could be or how you got your hair shaved on the side. Like I had mine in my warrior princess hair with the dreads swinging on one side. No, it's not. That's not the name of the game, to be out there with your fist in the air, getting beat down and pepper sprayed, wig ripped off. And no, that's not the name of the game. Is get home safe. That's it. Get home safe.
Yes.
Protect your life. Okay, let's finish this video.
You're okay. I'm gonna get you out of here. These people are trying.
Let me just rewind it a little bit, because she says,
that same man
hold on.
People are trying to kill
Let's rewind it just to where she starts talking about how he saved her. There we go.
Yeah, was whispering in my ear, telling me, "Going, you're okay. I got you. I have your phone. You're okay. I'm gonna get you out of here. These people are trying to kill you."
In this video, you hear that same man telling the crowd to back up.
If he's watching this, I just want to say thank you.
Berlinda says she was trying to get home yesterday when a crowd of protesters, appearing to be Trump supporters, called her racial slurs and taunted her about politics and the pandemic.
A bunch of women and men started yelling, "Take off your mask, don't wear a mask, blah, blah, got this deal. You're doing this so they can," and this, or something like that. And then somebody just walking in front of us going, "Take off your mask," and I was just like, no.
Belinda says things got violent when she flipped off the crowd and tried to leave.
So
and I was recording them, and I said, "Okay, please get away from me."
That guy.
And that's when the guy went and took his hand, clawed me in the face, and just smacked my phone in my face. And in the process of doing that, ended up scratching me in the eye.
The photographer who took these pictures says witnesses stepped in to help, but police did not.
For me, it was important.
Now this is problematic
because women of color every single day are harassed, are beat, are assaulted, are killed, and oftentimes they're not believed.
LAPD releasing a statement tonight saying in part a hate crime battery report was taken and confirming the individual seen in the images with his arms wrapped around the victim was determined to be a good Samaritan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Police now trying to identify the people who attacked Berlinda. We've confirmed the man that Berlinda calls her hero was fired from his job.
Wow.
Berlinda tells us that she called his employer today explaining the situation, and she hopes he does get his job back. In downtown Los Angeles tonight, Hetty Chang, NBC.
Okay, how interesting. So he lost his...
Tell me again how Christelyn is caping for white men. Tell me again that I'm wrong, that I didn't do my research. Can somebody please tell me? I'm listening.
So who said that she recanted, though? Who says that?
There's some news organizations that are now saying that she recanted. So I don't know what that is about. I'm just going by, again, the stories. I'm just going by what the news reported and what she said out of her own mouth. So should I have held a seance? Should I have called psychic friends to see?
You're so funny. Listen. Soul Saya is saying, oh no, it's Soul Sista. Soul Sista is saying, y'all ignored the part where she said she was walking by and they swarmed her. Who ignored that part? Keep moving. Do not stop. Keep moving. Don't stand up there in the middle of these people pulling out your phone. And you ignored the part where it says that she was almost out of the crowd when she decided to flip them the bird, and then they surrounded her again. Come on. Listen, ladies, please get yourself some pepper spray. When you walk out there, walk with something that can protect you in some sort of way. If you know that you have no pepper spray, nothing to protect you on you, be very humble. Be very humble. The name of the game is get home safe. That's it. If you know that you cannot stop people from harming you, there's no need to be flipping people the bird, pulling out your phone and doing all. There's no need for all of that. There's no need for all of that. Okay. So should I show the video of the woman in the parking lot?
Show it.
Okay, I'm not going to show the violence part because I can't deal with that myself personally.
Call Miss Cleo. I guess I should have called Miss Cleo and the psychic hotline to just do my research further to see whether she was going to like misremember or recant. I guess I was supposed to do that.
Okay, so here. So we're looking at this video now where this big wallbacker was chasing this man down in the store. What'd you say, lumbering after him?
Lumbering.
And we're gonna find the part of the video where the girl was in the parking lot. We're gonna find that because here, is this it right here? No, that's not it. And that's the woman. Where is this? Oh, that's that same footage. Let's see. Oh, this is the parking lot footage right here. It's like, come on now. We don't need to be out there like that. Here we go. Did he have a gun in his hand? Let's take a look and see. Let's take a look and see. Come on, Tanya, get the video up. Let's take a look and see. Let's take a look and see. Okay, let's go forward, Tanya. Look, hold on. Let me fast forward this a little bit because it's a long video, so it's harder to fast forward on longer videos. All right, here we go. So let's take a look and see if there is a gun in the man's hands. So
you're facing the wrong way.
Here we go. So this is the parking lot, right? Where's the gun? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he does have a damn gun. You see that?
I need to understand what I'm
You see it,
looking
right?
at.
Look, it's right here. Make the screen bigger. He has a gun. No. I did not know that. I did not know he had a gun. I did not know he had a gun.
Wow, that dude looks really big and scary.
Black women, what are we doing? I did not know he had a gun. Why? Listen, leave these crazy mofos alone. Get far away from them. Don't get out your car. If they get cross in front of your car, protect yourself. Keep going. Exactly. Look, keep going. Don't stop. Exactly. Are we going to go forward in the video? So all right. Let's see. So he has a gun in his hand, which I did not know. And then he goes to slap her phone out of her hand.
And her homegirl walked in.
So so he put the gun away. And then she goes to punch him. Stupid. Why is she going to, I don't mean to call her stupid because when that adrenaline is rushed and all this other stuff, but this is, and so then she hits I don't see the gun anymore. So she punches him. I don't see the gun anymore. I can't watch that violence against her. Right. I didn't show the violence. He must have put the gun away at some point, but this. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Superwoman.
Yeah, we need to retire her. Superwoman needs to retire.
Like, what are we doing though, for real? Honestly, what are we doing? Name of the game is what? What's the name of the game?
I don't know. I didn't know it was a game.
The name of the game is Get Home Safe. That's it. Just get home safe. Get home alive. Get home safe. Get home in one piece to live to fight another day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to say something real quick because I'm going to have to go a little bit, but I want to just be clear. Tanya, thank you for playing that video. People, no matter what, people are going to have perceptions, and perceptions are based on values and beliefs, and it's very emotion driven. I want Black women to be very careful about delineating lines based on what we perceive as people who are friendly versus people who are foes based on imaginary lines about racism. This is beyond racism. The organizations that claim to be fighting racism do nothing when we are being attacked, whether racial or otherwise. The people who are claiming to be fighting against racism and police brutality have shown that they're 99.9% focused on one particular half of the gender of Black people. Also, not everybody in who is a Trump supporter, you know, here's my opinion about Donald Trump. Here's my opinion in general. I am a fiscally conservative Black woman. I feel like there is no place for me. I feel like there is no place for me because if Donald Trump is the head of the Republican Party, and I truly believe this man is evil, I believe that he is inherent, like he is a bad person. Okay, and I don't, and this is despite his policies, and some of his policies, not all of them have been bad. I am talking about inherently a bad person. You know, anybody who can, anyone who treats the people that he's supposed to love. Look at how he treats his wives. Look at how he treats his children. So these are the people that he's supposed to love. So if he treats if he treats the people he's supposed to love like this, how do you think he's going to treat people who he doesn't care about? I really truly feel there is no place for me as a Black woman politically. There really is not.
I feel you. So before you jump off, I want to play your statement for you. There were some people who sent your video to me and said at around the 40-minute mark, you said that the Proud Boys were not. This is what they're saying. So I'm just going to play that, okay?
Okay.
All right. So this is 34 minutes. So we're going to go up to 39. Let's go to 39 and a half and see.
You have it on mute though.
Is it on mute?
Yeah, the speaker has a line through it.
I did a Google search. Photos of Black Proud Boys because I knew they existed. I want you to look.
Oh, is that so?
At who are standing with the Proud Boys. I want you to see the Hispanic people. I want you to see the Black people. I want you to see the white. Wait a minute. Leader of white-wing Proud Boys arrested at Washington protest. Does this man look like a white man to you?
He may not look like a white man, but he may be holding white supremacist ideals.
He is
okay.
That's organization.
Okay, hold
Can
on.
somebody
Let's pause
please
this.
explain?
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this now, sis.
So honey, let me tell you, people are saying, oh, he's not Black, he's Afro-Cuban. So I need to understand. No entiende, no conozco. Ayúdame, por favor.
¿A qué necesitas ayuda? ¿Con qué?
Por favor.
¿Qué necesitas ahora?
Sí.
No, pero ¿qué necesitas?
¿Cuál
tipo de ayuda necesitas ahora? Porque yo puedo ayudarte si tú necesitas. Por favor, dígame, ¿qué necesitas ahora? ¿Qué necesitas entender?
Listen, I'm trying to understand. I practiced my Spanish just for you because I know you speak it. And I know very little of it, but I know enough to say, no entiende, ayúdame, por favor. ¿Cuál está? Negro en España, por favor.
Listen, I'm here to help you. Yo estoy aquí. Si tú necesitas ayuda, por favor, yo puedo ayudarte. Ahora, dígame qué necesitas ahora, porque hay gente, mira, escucha. Hay gente con piel negro que no tiene corazón de negros, ¿me entiendes?
I see. I see.
Listen.
Verde. That is not verde. It's verdad. Mucho verdad.
All right. So when it comes to whether or not there are Black people who are members of the Proud Boys, that doesn't mean that they don't still hold.
Tanya.
What happened?
In chat, somebody in the chat is saying, checkmate Tanya. We're not playing checkers or chess.
No, listen, I wanna listen, forget the people who may be trolling. You don't know who may be trolling. I want to find out, how long have we been thinking that just because there are Black people in an organization that they still can't uphold ideals which are not, just because there are let's widen it. How long have we been thinking that just because there's a group of people that are in an organization who look like the people who their organization may be against? How long have we been thinking that there won't be people in that organization who are actively against other people who look like them? This goes for Hispanics as well.
So I'm happy that you bring that up. What my point in that video was to say this: that what we are dealing with from a political standpoint is multi-layered, nuanced, and it is not simply about, it is not binary where it's black people against white people. There is multi-layers to this. And what I'm saying is that we can no longer look at one organization and say racist bad, and look at another organization like Black Lives Matter and say altruistic good. I'm saying that there are problems in both. Okay.
What'd you say, Trump?
What?
But you know, Trump, there's problems on both. You got their hands going and everything. There are problems on both sides. Both sides.
And what I'm saying, but it is true. Are you saying that Black Lives Matter is not problematic for Black women?
Listen.
No.
You asked me a question. I want to answer it.
Okay.
There are different types of offenses. If there is an offense of omission, that you feel that a group is not standing up enough, that is a lot different than an offense of an offensive offense where a person is actively going out and desecrating Black churches and upholding an ideal of white supremacy in the streets. We showed the article earlier. I'll put it back up on the screen, where the Proud Boys, they're being arrested now for burning Black Lives Matter flags. So if your issue with Black Lives Matter is that they don't stand up enough, then that means that there needs to be another organization. So we need to create an organization, Black Women Matter. And we need to, and listen, but the thing is, even if we created that organization, there will still be people who will be like, oh, but you're not advocating for this type of woman in this type of situation, or this type of girl in this place, and all of these other things. And so we need focused organization. So is Black Lives Matter problematic because they don't stand up for Black women enough? At least they're not going out and actively harming Black people. So I would say that it's not the same. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, and you are absolutely right. The difference between, and I know I'm going to make some folks mad. The difference between the overt racism.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now. I just had to take off my microphone. My headset.
The difference between the overt racism that we see in Trump land. There's an echo for some reason when I say this.
Oh, I took my headset out. I'll put it back in. Hold on.
There are more interface. Okay.
I just put it back in because I didn't want there to be an echo before, but I didn't realize there would be one when I took it out. Sorry, go ahead.
So the difference between overt racist, like what we saw when we saw people holding Confederate flags, storming the Capitol, when we heard about somebody who had a truck full of bombs, is that it is overt, it is dangerous, it is strategic, and it is immediate, right? Mm-hmm. The difference between Black Lives Matter and the left is something called the soft bigotry of low expectations, or just the making a statement of importance or inferiority or superiority based on omission. One is a quick death, the other is a slow death.
Okay, right. And I think that there's a difference between offense and defense, and I think that what we're doing is an unfair comparison, right? Because Black Lives Matter specifically came out, their mission statement.
I'm mentioning Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm talking about just my views of the left in general.
Okay.
The left in general. Okay. And again, my political stance is I am a registered independent. I am fiscally conservative. I'm more socially liberal about most things. Do I want trans people to be able to go to the bathroom with my 11-year-old daughter? No. So, I mean, if that makes me socially conservative, I don't know, but I'm fiscally conservative, and I literally feel like there was no place for me because I truly believe that the left has done more damage to Black people with the soft bigotry of low expectations than anything that we suffered under prior to the civil rights movement. I think that
Do you see and
there
see
are
and this
there
is
are
this is
positives.
where this is where this is
I'm
where we
very happy.
separate.
I'm very happy. Okay, but here's the thing. I'm very
there's a
happy.
little bit of a
Listen to me. I'm
delay.
married to a white man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. I'm married to a white guy. I'm happy that I can live where I want to live. But what I'm saying is that prior to certain practices and things that were put in place and the infantilization of Black people, there were a lot more Black people doing for self. There was a lot of Black people who were industrious, who knew what needed to be, and we're not told that because of this racist society, I can't do something. There was a difference between locus of control of what Black people back then and what many of them have now. Back then, Black people had an internal locus of control where they said that there are things that I can do to affect my life, that I can affect change in my life. What I see now with the policies and things that have been put in place, and believe me, I'm not saying they're wrong. I benefited from those policies, but many of us have an external locus of control now, in which they feel like, well, because of all of these things, because what I have been told, the world happens to me. I don't happen to the world. I can't affect change. Why bother doing it because of the racist society that we're in? Why do that?
Yeah, I think that there's a tremendous amount of confusion that exists here in what is more damaging. Hanging and lynching people, terrorizing them, throwing bombs through their doors, shooting down and killing people, setting Black people up and having their groups infiltrated, or a group that you feel just isn't doing enough or that you feel is coddling. I listen, and we can agree to disagree on this, because a group that is coddling, I'm sorry, Christelyn, I let you speak for so long. If you could allow me to just really make my point, that would be great.
I'm sorry.
Right? Okay. We have now, I know that there was a switching of the parties, right? So rather than saying Republican or Democrat, I'm glad that you're talking about the conservative and the liberal point of view. Now, part of the reason that Black people don't have as much agency as they did have, and why they are not as industrious, to use the word that you used, is because of integration. When integration happened, right? When we were able to go to white businesses, when they were like, where the white women at? Black men were like, where the white women at? Black people were like, oh, this business is better because it's white. So I'm not sure how that becomes the fault of the liberals. Now, may a thing be too liberal? I think that if we're going to talk about who has done more harm, I would much rather the society where people are treated with kid gloves than the society where they're punched with brass knuckles.
I understand your point, but I have to also counterpoint.
Okay, counterpoint.
You said that which society is better, being lynched and hung from trees? Well, I have to ask you, which society is better when 60% of Black women are reported as being sexually abused before the age of 18, when Black women have the highest statistics of domestic violence rates and partner murders within the Black community.
This is a straw man argument.
Wait, hold on a second.
I'm not interrupting you. I just wanted to just make the statement while you were speaking that that's a straw man argument, so that we could be able to punctuate it at that point. So go ahead.
Well, a straw man argument is defined as something that is made of straw that can be easily knocked down. What I'm saying to you is this: in the advocacy of Black women and the left, and where we have come, what I'm saying to you is that there are real issues that are going on in Black communities where Black women are put in peril every single day and they are not being addressed. When you have feminists who stand down from 40 years of rappers who have dragged our image and likeness all over the planet to where you can't even go to China with somebody asking you to twerk. What I'm saying to you is that there was a slow death in the soft bigotry of low expectations. It is not immediate and doesn't seem as insidious, but is equally as damaging. And what I'm saying is that these issues that are related to Black women and how we suffer under the protection of the guise of protecting the pro-Black male is killing us every day. Black women aren't hanging from trees, but they're being shot. They're having their wigs dragged off. They're having babies ripped from their bodies. They're being pummeled in the street. They're being posted on World Star Hip Hop. They're being used as fodder to make people money on YouTube.
Okay, and can I address some of these?
Absolutely.
Okay. What you're doing is a false equivalence and throwing in straw man arguments in there that are false equivalences disguised. What was the rate of, before we had integration and Black people had the industriousness that you speak of, what was the rate of Black girls being assaulted then? Let's not act like the relationship that Black girls have had in the Black family have miraculously become toxic and horrible once white Democrats got into the picture or once white liberals got into the picture. There has been a problematic relationship between Black men and Black women back to the motherland, even existing until this day. They're still chopping off clitorises in Africa as we speak. There's some girl having her legs pressed open and her clit sliced off right now as you and I are sitting here. So there has always been an oppressive air. Listen, my grandmother had her first child at 13 years old. Who was the man that impregnated her? It's like a lot of our grandmothers have been the victims of child brideism and all types of stuff. So that is a different story altogether. If we're going to talk about which policies have been more harmful to Black people, whether or not the policies of, listen, I was watching the research that Rachel Maddow did about the Ku Klux Klan and how they were attempting to become mainstream. It was never in their intention to be fringe and under the radar. They had always wanted to install a person in the White House. There is a huge difference between the party that supports the Ku Klux Klan, the party that supports the hanging and the lynching, and a party that says, you know what, let me give you some help to help you get up on your feet. There's a tremendous difference. And when you start talking about low expectations, okay, having low expectations is problematic. Yes. However, killing and actively going out there seeking to harm and saying, because you are Black, we will stop you. Because you are Black, we will kill you. That's a whole other issue. So if you want to talk about the Black family and the toxicity that exists in the Black family, that is one issue that we can discuss, and we can push that aside because that doesn't have anything to do with liberalism. Black people killing, Black men killing Black women, that doesn't have anything to do with the white liberals. That has something to do with the Black family and how it has been destroyed by people who started out in this country as fiscally conservative and decided that they would use human chattel slavery in order to build this country. So let's not forget how it is that we got here. Let's not forget how the Black family in this country is so decimated and how Black people all across the world have been decimated as well. So that's a false equivalence. We can't even add that into the argument about whether or not the Proud Boys are just as problematic as Black Lives Matter because you feel that Black Lives Matter is not doing enough. The Proud Boys, if they are actively destroying Black Lives Matter things and Black Lives Matter is just not doing enough, I can say, if you feel that there's an organization that is not created out there, create that organization. You have money. you got,
That's why I'm hold on.
Yeah, we're getting some bad connection right now.
Okay, hold on.
It's okay. I'll continue talking. They're all problematic. However, Lynching and killing is a lot more problematic than saying, let's give you some small business loans.
Hold on, let me,
And Wanderlust is saying she never negated what you're saying, Tanya. Oh, it's going so fast. Sorry. Okay, here it is. Wanderlust is saying she never negated what you're saying, Tanya. No, what she did was she introduced a false equivalent into the argument. If we're going to talk about the Proud Boys, there's no reason for us to talk about what Black Lives Matter is not doing. The Proud Boys is listed as a racist organization, which has Black men in it. They're listed as a misogynistic organization. And the leader, while she's doing that, let me look it up for you so that you can see. I'm going to just look up who are the Proud Boys, and I'm going to add the article right here because we looked at this earlier today. And so while she is, hold on. There you go. You're back on the stream. I just want to pull this up to this is not the right thing. Hold on.
Is it okay if I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't feel like my argument is a straw man. I understand where you're coming from. I don't think we're that far off from an agreement in agreeing. I really don't. But what I will say is, you asked which was worse, being strung up and having a whole organization that says I will stop you, or when you have a whole organization that completely ignores that 19 of your sisterin get killed, every day. From, you know what I'm saying? So which is better, the overt or the ignoring?
Well, you know what?
Which is worse? Like, which is worse, being ignored and on all of our issues being ignored, or being having it in your face? I don't know. That's like asking which is worse, liver and onions, or I don't know, day-old oysters.
Right. I was only responding to you because I don't believe in the pain Olympics where we compare struggles and all of that. I was only responding to what it is that you posited as one being worse than the other. You said that the liberals have done far more damage than the conservatives. And all I'm saying is that conservatives were physically killing us. Now, if there's a passive pacification, that's a different story than taking your life off of this earth, than taking your babies and stomping on their heads or feeding them to alligators. Coddling a person, helping them get small business loans, helping them get jobs. So when we talk about the liberals, we have affirmative action, we have small business loans. If you're going to say that small business loans, affirmative action to help people get into school and jobs is worse for people than taking your life and pulling you off of this earth, I have to stop you there. I have to.
I don't think that's what I said, though, Tanya. Please.
We could rewind it. You said that the liberals have done far more damage to us as Black people than the conservatives have. And that right there is false.
Here's the thing. We can go through the linear history of it. We can agree to disagree. I will tell you that the Democratic Party used to be a racist organization.
Let's just stick to conservative and liberal, because we know that there was a switch. We know that the Democrats originally started as conservatives.
But here's the thing. When we talked about earlier, when we talked about this earlier, there are multi-layers to it and nuances. There were people in this country, not every single person who came to this country that was conservative were pro-slave owners, Tanya, and you have to be you have to acknowledge that as well.
The exception doesn't make the rule.
So no, I'm not saying that this was the exception. You're talking about what the percentage of actual slave owners in this country was at like 1 to 3%. One of the original slave owners in this country was a Black man. So what I'm saying is that there is nuance to this. There was nuance to this. And what I'm saying is what we're doing right now, we're fighting over delineated binary lines that have to do with race. And the thesis of this argument is that Black women need to do what is best for them. And that's the argument. I feel like we're going on these tangential planes where, and I got to take some responsibility for it too, but I also want to also take responsibility to bring this back and say, listen, whatever our differences are, Tanya, whatever they are, Black women are not the priority on either side here. And we need to stay home. We need to stay out of it. Like, I understand your passion. I understand where you're coming from. I benefited from things in the civil rights movement. Like I said, this is a multi-layered thing. I've benefited from Trump's policies. I got a small business loan, you know, during that thing that we talked about. I've benefited from it, but I think the whole is problematic. I think what we need to focus on is that Black women, we need to stop. Like, what we're doing right now, Tanya, is what we shouldn't be doing.
What should we not be doing? Having a discussion?
No, what I'm saying is that we need to focus on what's best for us, however way that shows up.
But you know how we got here, right? You know how we got here. We got here during a discussion of the Proud Boys, which are listed in the United States database of hate groups as a white supremacist group. And you said that you feel that the Proud Boys are just as problematic as Black Lives Matter. And this is how we got down this road. Now, listen, your stance and my stance are very different stances. And people on this channel will know I am not pro-white man. I am not pro-Black man. I am pro-self-love. And the majority of the people on my channel are Black women. So I am pro-self-love for Black women on this channel. So you don't hear me preaching about, oh, Black men are the holy grail, or white men are the holy saviors. You don't see me preaching about that. So this is not a matter, listen, whether or not nobody on this channel has ever heard me say how wonderful Biden or the Democrats are. This is a different story. When we start talking about individuals, about those two Black women who are married to Proud Boys, this is problematic. It's not as problematic as if they were married to people who were in Black Lives Matter. We're talking about people who are a racist hate group. It's problematic. And whether or not you feel that Black Lives Matter is not doing enough, it doesn't mean that their organization is bad because you feel that they're not doing enough. If they're not doing enough, then you can create your own 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization to be able to help the people that you say that need to be helped. But don't say that they're a hate group because they help Black men and that they don't help enough Black women.
That's not what I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying, Tanya, I'm on your team. I understand this is an emotional issue. I never said that Black Lives Matter was a hate group. So please, like, you know, I don't always say the right words, but please don't. I get enough gruff on YouTube with people putting words in my mouth. Please don't add to that, because it's dangerous for me and my family. I have had death threats. I have had people write my neighbors and my family members. And so I'm asking you to please not pile on to the false narratives about me by saying that I said that Black Lives Matter.
I did not say. What I said was you compared them to a hate group, saying that they are as problematic as a hate group, as a group that desecrated historically Black churches. There is no comparison, and that comparison could have never been made. There's no comparison between Black Lives Matter and the problematicness of not doing enough and the problematicness of doing too much in the negative sense.
What I'm saying is this: Black women, whether it's Black Lives Matter or whether you are a Trump supporter and you are conservative and you're out here protesting for Stop the Steal, either side, there is no advocacy for you as an individual, that nobody is going to stand in the gap for you and rescue you. And the only protection that you are going to have is on an individual basis. I have no moral or political or emotional connection to Black Lives Matter, to the Proud Boys, to whatever Trump organization is out there doing that. That is not my connection. My emotional connection is to Black women. And I understand that you are very passionate about this, Tanya, and I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that whether I'm right or you're wrong, whether I'm more historically incorrect and you're more historically correct, the bottom line is this: Black women don't win caping for anybody.
Thank you. We don't. And one thing that, so listen, I agree with you. And there are things that, just because there are things that we don't agree on, doesn't mean that there are fundamental things that we do. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, when it comes to Black women and Black women being out here on our own, yes, listen, because I told you, listen, I gave a very vivid description earlier about how there were Black men who assisted in Africa, the white men, the Europeans who came through with the Maxim gun, slicing through Black people. There were Black men on their side. I'm sure there were some Black women too, but when in the historic footage that I saw, there were Black men who assisted them. The historians talked about how how Black people assisted them in getting into the interior to be able to conquer the motherland. So I'm not here, and I have never said that anything that a Black person does is fine just because they're Black. I am only and merely addressing the statements that you made about the organization of Black Lives Matter being insidiously or the liberals and liberal policies, and then also adding Black Lives Matter into the problematicness because they aren't doing enough for Black girls. Not doing enough is different than actively going out and harming. That is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I hope that we can agree, not doing enough is not on the same level as actively going out and harming. I hope we can agree on that.
You're giving me a binary choice. You're saying either completely passive or aggressive and bloodthirsty. And the fact of the matter is that, again, there are layers. You're putting me in a situation of a false dichotomy where you're saying either it's passive and there is no harm or negligible harm, or it is aggressive and every single person is out there killing and eating little Black babies. And
No.
I think that argument is, you're giving me two different choices that are a false choice.
No, you know what, actually? What you're doing is you are assigning fault to a group for not doing enough, in your opinion. A group that has a very clear mission statement about why they came into being. Not doing enough, okay. So if Black Lives Matter is not a group that is not doing enough, they are not our saviors. They are not the Holy Grail. They are an organization created by Black women, just like any Black women can create an organization. So if there is something that is not addressed in one particular organization's policies, there is the opportunity for us to be able to create whatever organization that we feel does not exist. Whoever is not being represented, we have the opportunity to do that. And if you want to address, listen, because I've heard the people who created Black Lives Matter being confronted. Why do you not do something about the Black on Black crime in the ghettos? And they said that their mission statement is to combat police brutality. They came out to combat police brutality against Black men. So now we're going to fault them for their mission statement. Why not just, if we don't want to create the group ourselves, implore another group to come out and focus on the crime in the ghetto. Have another group come out to focus on Black girls who are being victimized or harmed. But
can I address that?
Absolutely.
There have been organizations that have done that, Tanya. I have tried to do that. I have done that my entire career, trying to do that. The fact of the matter is that there is no,
there isn't the energy and the enthusiasm to protect Black women and girls in the same way that there is an energy and enthusiasm to protect Black boys and Black men. And there have been hundreds of organizations that have tried to call attention to Black women and girls, and they don't get the media, they don't get the protests, they don't get the protection, they don't get the television shows, they don't get the documentaries. The fact of the matter is that they don't care. They just don't care.
And what we are doing, and I think that this conversation is important, and I'm glad that we have this conversation because there are many Black conservatives out there. And there are many Black progressives who are out there like me. And there's a need for these conversations to be had. If we feel that an organization is not getting enough shine, I personally take my time and I volunteer with underserved youth. I volunteered with Black Girls Build. I was a big sister in Big Sisters America. I volunteered with other organizations behind the scenes that I won't name in this video, but this is what I did because it mattered to me. So I went out there and I participated my time. I give of my money to these organizations. So if we are going to make these organizations matter, we can't just start talking about what other people don't care about. There are people who do care. We can bring more awareness to organizations. You have a huge platform. I have a huge platform. I have the organizations that I volunteer with listed in my bio on LinkedIn. So it's like I participate in helping these organizations get more shine, have a Black woman there to be able to counsel the youth, to have a Black woman who made it out of the ghetto, who rose out of displacement, to be able to come back and say, listen, yes, you can. I don't expect Joe Biden is who he is. I don't expect for white people to come and save us. It's like there are things that we need to do. I don't expect for Black men to feel our plight in the ways that we feel it. We know that there are certain people who are deaf to our pain. So what do? Do we just sit by and say, well, these people are deaf to our pain? Well, they're messed up because they're deaf to it. We're on our own. No, we are powerful Black women. This is our genesis right now. This is our time. We are the elders right now. And what we do matters to the youth coming up behind us. We can't just keep saying, what didn't Martin Luther King do? What didn't John Lewis do? What is Maxine Waters not doing? It's our time now. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
And I say, Black women, what you need to do is stay home, file your fingernails, paint your nails, have your bubble bath, sit it out, and let people miss you. Let people feel your absence, and you choose your causes a la carte in ways that keep you safe, in ways that will help you and the women who look like you, and put your energy and your passion into preserving yourself, because it's clear that there are no allies for Black women in any real collective way. You are going to have to find that protection individually with men who have good character. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that you're going to find that bliss just by dating white men. I don't think that you're going to find that bliss just by dating and marrying Black men. I don't think you're going to find that bliss with any other man just because they share a race. You're going to find that bliss with a man with integrity, mm-hmm. character, and a drive to protect you and provide for you. And that's going to have to be on an a la carte, case by case basis. And that all of this energy and all of this anger, like Tanya, I'm going to tell you, I don't always get it right. You know, I'm not a historian. I don't always get it right. I try to be very educated in the things that I say. I don't always get it right, but my desire is your desire. And my desire is that I want Black women to be protected. I want them to be safe. I want them to stop being ignored when they're being abused and when they're being murdered, just because it doesn't fit a narrative. I want us to realize that there is more going on in the world than just this black-white racial issues. That it is a distraction in order to use you, that people are putting rocks in your hands and telling you to throw them, and then they are hiding and leaving you responsible to carry whatever the bag is. And so I should say this, Tanya, I love you. I think you're brilliant. I admire you a lot. We don't agree on this. I hope that you won't, I hope you don't think, negative of me because we don't share the same opinion. But my goal, I believe, is your goal. And that is that we take care of ourselves and realize what we're working with, and stop letting, that the arguments be the distraction.
I'm really confused. What's going on right now? I thought we were having a discussion. I didn't know that this was personal. Why do you look sad?
I'm more, it's more of a little bit disappointment, only because I feel like we're doing exactly what gets us in trouble in the first place. Is
And
that
what is that? Having a discussion?
No, it's being in the weeds and not really focusing on the horizon. So I don't like being in the weeds. And I guess I'm picking up on your energy. You sound very upset and passionate. So I'm just trying to reduce the heat in the room, I guess.
Listen, this is too dramatic. There is no, and I'm sure that you know that there is no effect on our relationship that this conversation is going to have. We've had disagreements in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure why you're taking this as personally as you're taking it, because people have disagreements. People don't agree. You even started off your statement saying that you don't always agree with me, and that's fine. I think that there are a lot of Black women out there who don't agree. And I don't think that this conversation was vitriolic. I don't think that there was any name calling or any type of spurious feelings or any type of caustic energy or any of that. And for you to say that I seem very upset.
Yeah, well, it does feel that way to me, but that it could be because we are just getting to know each other, so it just sounds that way to me. I'm very sensitive, so I mean, it sounds that way to me. If I'm mistaken, I apologize.
Well, you know what? One of the things that we can do is, and this is the way that I feel right now. I feel like we start tone policing so that we, in order to be able to have a furtive conversation or a fruitful conversation, that we have to speak in coddling ways. And you said that you don't like when the liberals coddle us. However, I'm feeling now like I feel like when I was young and in school and the white girls used to be like, oh, that girl is angry, right? That's how I feel, because there's no name calling here. There's no Christelyn, there's none of that. There's none of that. There's not even a vein that has popped out of my forehead. And I feel like this is how I personally feel. I feel like this is another one of those instances to stop a conversation from happening, from being like, you're an angry Black woman. That's how I feel now at this point, where you're like, oh, Tanya, you're angry. And I'm just trying to calm the energy down. Christelyn, you've seen me angry before in videos. This is not angry. Having a conversation is not angry. And I would hope that you and we disagree behind the scenes. We disagree about things behind the scenes. And I think that it's healthy and important for people to be able to talk out their disagreements. You're right. It's multi-layered. There's not just one solution. There's not. I'm not seeing the anger that you're seeing. I'm not seeing the anger.
Like I said, I just more of my my thought process right now is just more of that. all of these things that we're getting into the weeds in is taking away from the purpose of why we decided to do, because, and the thing is, I'm also looking at the chat, and I just, the reason why I feel dejected is that I know how this goes. I know how I know how this movie ends, and people are not going to take away the main mission and theme of why we decided to come together. People are going to take away, you know, Tanya TKO's Chris Karazin, and you know, and just it's going to create an animosity in a time when I really want Black women content creators to come together and display, you know, a level of solidarity, but not total agreeing, but being able to disagree in productive ways and still carry on relationships. It's unfortunate to me because I know on YouTube, there's a lot of people who are greedy for the drama, who are greedy for fights. And I'm just, I guess my disappointment is that I know that tomorrow there are going to be 30 different videos about us fighting and people totally missing the message of what we wanted to try to do, and that was to encourage Black women to put themselves first and be on their side. So that's what I'm thinking.
And so you feel
this is what is going on, my thought process right now.
So you feel that we did not accomplish our goal.
I worry.
Is that what you're saying?
I worry for that. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say this, right? There are a lot of different people out there with a lot of different points of view. There's 7 billion people in the world. And I don't expect all 7 billion of them to agree. There are going to be people who will see the conversation that we have and they'll go away with whatever thoughts it is that they're going to go away with. And there will be other people who will see the conversation that we have and breathe a sigh of relief because it was a conversation that needed to be had. And the only way for us not to have had this conversation is for one of us to have just laughed and ignored some statements that in the moment needed to be addressed. And if you want me to ignore statements in the future so that we can just focus on the reason why we created the video, I think that this was a very successful video. I think that the video successfully conveyed that Black women need to look out for ourselves. We need to stay our behinds at home. There's somebody who says that I was caping for Black Lives Matter. No. I don't believe that Black women need to be out there. I am always saying that we need to turn to men and say, listen, what are you going to do? I said that in 2 videos ago. I said it in the last video, and I'm saying it here. Turn to the men and say, what are you going to do? Because Black women do not need to be out there on the front lines. However, when you made the statement about Black Lives Matter and the Proud Boys and how Black Lives Matter is problematic, like the Proud Boys, I felt that I needed to address that in this video because it was stated in this video. And I think that that comparison is a very problematic comparison. I think that it's to compare a group that we feel is not doing enough with a group that is actively going out, desecrating historically Black churches. So I think that we accomplished many things in this video. And if there are going to be people who are going to misconstrue, I mean, this is what people do. If anything, I would hope that we are hoping to reach a more intellectual base. And if the comments are, if you know that you have sensitivity issues with reading the comments, there are people in the comments. And I see you looking at the comments. Turn away from the comments. There are people in the comments. Most of the people in the comments are hollering out praises for what it is that you're saying. Most of the people in the comments, and this is my channel. There's 2,000 people on here. This is my channel, and people on my channel saying that I'm delusional and that all of this other stuff. And that's fine. They're welcome to their point of view. Go ahead. Stop looking at the comments, Christelyn.
No, it's not. I see what they're saying.
Here, listen, I'm going to tell you this much right here. You call me or anybody else a name on my channel, you will be blocked. We don't do that on this channel. We either have intelligent discourse or you're gone. I don't beg people to respect me. Either you respect me or you're out. Let me go ahead. Call me names. Call Christelyn names, and you're gone. Try me and see. Go ahead.
So yeah, I see that a lot of them are agreeing with me. But that's not the point. Like for me, I have a really deep desire that we Black women content creators can really build something. And I just know that I know that there's energy out there that are going to try to undo it. And I'm thinking several days ahead, and I'm just like, oh man, I know how this is going to go. And, you know, like we have I mean, we're just getting to know each other. And so I just want to, you know, it's just sort of like, meh. You know,
do you think that there are people out there who can tear our associateship asunder? Do you think that there are viewers out there that can destroy the budding association that you and I have? Honestly,
I would say this. I would be very, very disappointed if that happened. But I can't say that it has not happened before. And so that's also what I'm saying. Like, this has happened to me before. And so I'm just like, oh man, because this has happened to me before.
Christelyn, if you start crying, I'm going to start crying as well. I'm just letting you know, and I will make up a reason to start crying because you're not gonna out damsel me on my channel. I'm telling you right now, if I gotta go grab an onion from the kitchen and smash it up against my face, we getting some tears out here today. But because
my fans know I'm really sensitive, that I'm really smushy.
Well, you know, my fans know that too. Listen, you already know. I mean, you know some things about me, right? And you know that I'm thorough. There is not a commenter or a video creator, and they can go ahead and try, who can get me to have a different feeling about my pinky. This is just the only person who can get me to have a different feeling about you is you. Like these people, we are content creators. We create content for them. We are in front of an audience right now. However, the relationship that you and I have is personal. This broadcast that we're having is the public broadcast, and this has brought in new viewers for you, new viewers for me. And when it comes to content creating and reaching a larger audience, it's always great. I mean, let people say what it is that they want to say. Let them talk. You're my pinky. It's as simple as that. I really don't know what else to say.
If I do cry right now, it'll be what you're saying to me is very touching.
I'm telling you, I'll start crying too, because you ain't gonna out damsel me. So people start throwing their arms around you and be like, "Big bad Tanya made her cry." Hold on a moment. Let me know if you're getting ready to start, because I can go. Let me go off camera. Hold on. Let me know. Hold on. Not yet. Okay. Yeah, I don't
know. Why do people think I'm gonna cry? I'm not crying.
Because you look like your dog was running out in the street and got run over by a car, and you had to bring its carcass back in the house.
Because I've gone through this before.
You haven't gone through this with Tanya. Tanya is thorough. I keep it real, and I'm from New York. I don't know what other fake birds or whoever it is that you dealt with in the past. You're dealing with a real one right now.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. And I'm sure you know you need to listen to your instincts. But if your instincts are telling you that Tanya can be swayed, please, we're going to have to check these instincts then, child. You have to check your instincts.
Maybe I do. You know, I don't always get it right. So that's it. That's all. I really just want to focus on, I'm really very invested in Black women understanding who the enemy really is. And the enemy is not always the person who looks diametrically different from you. And that ultimately, Black women, whose side are you on? You got to be on yours. You got to be, you got to be on your side. And so that's my whole thing. I hate when the arguments go into tangential distractions that then people can walk away with not understanding the main idea. So the main idea is, bottom line, whether I'm historically incorrect, you know, whether I'm using false analogies, whether vice versa is happening, the bottom line is this: we got to start putting the energy and passion that we have for other organizations into ourselves. The passion that I see you having for advocating for, you know, of differing views of organizations that I have. I want that passion to then be directed towards self-preservation of us. Because we can turn up a lot for other people. Like we sitting up here both turning up a lot for other organizations, and we need to turn up for ourselves.
Yeah, and we can also find organizations that are doing the damn thing and bring those organizations to the forefront so that people can become aware of those organizations, because if nobody else is going to promote them, we have to promote them. Like I said, look up Girls Build. I volunteer with Girls Build. So that's that's an organization that I believe in. They work with underserved youth, and they're also based out of California. So listen, I think that we accomplished a lot of amazing things in this broadcast, right?
The most amazing thing is if we can still be friends and maybe go on live next week and talk about butterflies and rainbows. That would make me really happy.
Now, let me ask you a question. What is it that makes you feel that we're not going to, that's the thing that's confusing to me. And you know what? We all have a different past. I'm Caribbean American. In my family, people get loud. They talk junk, they laugh, they dance, and they have a good time afterwards. I can imagine if a person was from a background where whenever you had a disagreement, that meant that you would no longer speak. Is that how it was in your background? I don't know.
You know, no. I mean, in my family, absolutely not. I mean, we talk to each other. Like, these are things that I've had to teach myself. Like, we get passionate. We start talking over each other, which is totally rude. And I have to apologize to you because I was getting into that mode where I'm like, you know, the aunts and the aunties, sisters and brothers are talking over each other, and it's totally rude. So I apologize for that. But it's not the upbringing. It's the what I've seen in 10 years on YouTube that's giving me the pause. It's not that.
Okay. Listen, and somebody said that I could have just said yes, but it's not really about saying yes. It's about what it is that's going on inside of you, Chris, that is making you have the feeling that there is even one iota of a chance that this conversation would stop us from associating and from being as cool as we have always been. That's the part that's confusing to me. Where is that coming from? And you said that that's come from other relationships that you've had on YouTube in 10 years. I've spoken to you about some of the relationships I've had behind the scenes from YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. And listen, I mean, you already know. You already know.
Yeah. No, this is a tough place. I mean, it's it's like a gladiator fight. It's like, you're out here in the ring and like the lions and tigers are coming at you. And you try to do a good thing. There's a lot of things that can be produced that are good that happen, but there are forces that will try their best to try to dismantle the things that you're trying to do. And so I did not last this long without having some battle scars. So
Okay.
the pause and my reticent behavior is more so to do with that.
And it having to do with the battle scars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, I know that we're all entitled to be sensitive and feel the way that we feel. However, this is a field, especially when you're dealing directly with the public who are able to create multiple accounts and come back and create their statements from a bunch of different accounts and say the things that they want to say. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for this is not for the and it's not an easy job that we have. However, we do need to be able to differentiate the difference between work. This is work right here.
Yeah, it is work. But it's also very personal for me. Here's the thing, like for some people, it can be just work. For me, it is a very deeply emotional thing. It is something that I have experienced great sacrifice to continue to do. So it's more than just work for me. So I take a lot of it in.
Well, you know what? There has to be some level of detachment.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Absolutely.
There has to be some level of detachment, because if we stay too attached, look, I mean, I don't know how long you've been doing this. I've been doing this 13 years.
I've been doing it for 10.
Okay, so
11 actually.
Okay, well, I started in 2007. So from 2007 till now to 2021, this will make my 14th year, right? So so let me ask you this question, right? How would you prefer it to be handled if we're in the middle of a live broadcast and there is something that is brought up that the person you're speaking to feels needs immediate addressing, a statement that you make, which the person you're speaking to feels is patently false, and you're in the middle of a broadcast with that statement that person feels is patently false being disseminated to the masses? How would you prefer if that were handled?
Okay. Can I use that as an example? I think that there needs to be a level of trust that we develop for each other, and like for me to just get to know you better. Like right now, we're just getting to know each other, and so I think that once there's a level of trust, like with Kendall, we disagree on stuff all the time, but there's a level of trust there that I know that it's. Whatever we decide, whatever we disagree with, it's going to be like, hey, what you doing tomorrow? You know what I mean? So when you don't know somebody and you don't know, how they process things, it's just a matter of just getting to know them over time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that healthy debate is important. And I think that when a person is wrong and you want to disabuse them of their opinion, that you have the right to do so as long as it's respectful. I think that the problem that I have is that it just goes another way. And I'm going to give you an example of that. And then I actually do have to go, but I'm going to give you an example of this. Early on in my YouTube career, when I started No Wedding, No Womb, this was back in 2010. No Wedding, No Womb was a initiative to bring awareness and find solutions to the 72% out of wedlock rate Black children were being born into in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
I was invited to go on to Tommy Sotomayor's channel, and I had no idea who Tommy Sotomayor was, and I went on one time to talk about the initiative, and it went okay, and then I was invited back. And when I was invited back, I told a little bit more about my personal story, in where I mentioned that my child's father, I had a child out of wedlock before I married my husband. Absolutely just did not give a lot of child support, and like things like piano lessons and karate classes or whatever we had for my daughter, it was just, she didn't have that benefit. He never let me finish. What I was going to say was that these were things that my husband, my current husband, stood in the gap to do. But I never got the opportunity to say that, because he said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me you married a man who won't pay for your daughter from another man's piano lessons? That's not, what kind of man did you marry? And to this day, the narration has gone where I don't, that I didn't give my daughter piano lessons because my child's father didn't pay enough in child support. So it's things like that. It's things like that where, people get half the story. People don't allow for you to speak, to give the full perspective, or people deliberately misunderstand and mislisten. And then it's years later, and here it is 10 years later, and there are still people who think that I did not, that me and my husband did not pay for piano lessons and treated my daughter like Cinderella or something, So it's just things like that just take a toll on you emotionally, And so that's really where I come from with it,
Well, you know what? Thank you for sharing that. I can definitely understand why with experiences like that, why you would feel, a certain way during this broadcast, if you feel that, we got caught in the weeds and that there are things that people could misinterpret, right?
Yes.
There's always a risk when you go live that there's going to be something that's going to be expressed that we could have expressed in a different way, or that we feel that we could have expressed in a different way. So what do we do when we're live? The sentiment is already out there and we have already expressed it. It's out there in the air and we feel that we could have said it in a different way. What is it that we can do knowing that people may take that small little snippet and run with it?
I don't know. I don't think I've always handled it well, but I'm open to suggestions.
Well, in my personal point of view, I think that we cannot control other people. The only person that we can control is ourselves. We have to realize that there are 7 billion people in the world, and not everybody is going to see things the same way that we see it. We cannot control other people from creating content that we disagree with. The only thing that we can control is the feeling that we have on the inside in response to that content. Do we have a feeling that then sits inside of our bodies, stewing and producing secretions that can be harmful for our own bodies? No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Or do we say, you know what? We control the things that we can control, and we realize the difference. I can't remember how the whole saying goes, but you control the things you can, This, I don't know. You know the statement, right?
You leave the things you can't to God, the spirits, Allah, fairy.
What else isn't real? Right.
I do have to go.
Okay. Are you getting ready? What time are you and Shira going live so I can come over and support?
We're going live at 6, around 6-ish. And we're going to be talking about something totally different. We're going to be talking about the good side of being bad, of being naughty. So this is going to be kind of definitely a lighter conversation. So I'm looking forward to that. And so I wanted to also thank you, Tanya, for having me on your show to express my opinion and express myself. And thank you, Knockouts, for listening to my point of view. And we don't always have to agree with everything. But again, please take the essence of what I'm saying and what I think Tanya is saying as well. And that is, we need to be taking the energy that we've used to fight for others to start fighting for ourselves and protecting ourselves.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming over. So people are asking 6 p.m. So that's Pacific time. So that's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And there's some people who are like, Tanya, don't come over. Stop me then. Stop me. Never give a command you can't enforce. Stop me. Stop me from coming over. Anyway, Pinky, let me give you a hug. Let me give you a hug, Pinky. Everything is going to be all right. Okay? Don't worry.
All right. Well, you just have to know I'm smushy, okay. I'm very smushy. So that's just me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Mama, we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Bye. Bye, Knockout.
All right. All right. So welcome everybody. We're going to end this broadcast because we've been going for longer than 2 hours, and I don't like broadcasting longer than 2 hours. However, there was a part of this conversation that I felt was important to be had, because if you are, and there's still some more conversation that'll be had behind the scenes, but I think that it's important to be able to have mature conversations with people, mature disagreements, and mature differences of opinion. There are far too many of us out there who don't have the emotional intelligence to be able to disagree with a person and not turn it into something other than what it is. We don't have the emotional intelligence not to start waging insults at one or the other, right? Listen, Pinky is my sweetheart. There's nobody out there. There's no person on the outside of our relationship that can harm the relationship that we have. So you can say whatever it is that you want in the comments. That is cool. But there's nothing. I'm waterproof. It doesn't get in. It doesn't get in. So on that note, I will see you all in the next video. And I wonder if we should come back out, because we were supposed to be having a call-in show today. Remember? We were supposed to have a call-in show talking about the things that we were talking about in the last video. However, I'm a little bit, and Big Cupid is saying, hold on. Big Cupid is saying Pinky's up. You damn right. Pinky's up, everyone. Pinky's up. You doggone right. Pinky's up. So make sure that you go and you support Christelyn's channel. Her link is in the description. Make sure that you go over and watch the video that she's doing tonight. She's having a collaboration with Shira. She and Shira have done a few different collaborations together. Things are always risky when you go live. And it's a shame that audience members, instead of appreciating their creators, hope to orchestrate some sort of quote unquote gladiator fight. I mean, listen, I don't participate in those things. I don't participate in those things. All right. So what I'll do is I will see whether or not I'm coming back out a little bit later today. Make sure that you're on the mailing list so that you can get the notification inside of your email. If I am, so that is TanyaTKO.com, and click on subscribe. So listen, I love you all very, 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 very much. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. Love yourself. And there's so many self-love points that can be made here. I'll give 3. One of the self-love points inside of this video is 1, vetting your partner and choosing a partner who is healthy for your mental health, for your spiritual, psychological well-being. So that's 1. 2, loving yourself is advocating for yourself and standing in the gap for people who look like you and participating in uplifting other people who look like you, putting forward organizations that support people who look like you or your causes. That's 2. And 3, part of loving yourself is maintaining a certain amount of healthy distance between that and what you find upsetting. If you're not able to control the way that you feel on the inside, you can control what you come into contact with. If you can't control what it is that you come into contact with, then you've got to recalibrate on the inside so that you're not getting constantly wounded by people's intention to wound, but passively wound. So we got some cash apps that have come in. I'm going to give a shout out to the people who have made the cash apps. And we got L, who has sent in $5 who says, thanks for the timing and for speaking my opinion. So she sent $5 through on that. And then there's another one. Let me send a heart on there. All right, so we got the $5 on that. And I mean, this was I thought it was a good combo. And then we have another, let's see. Okay, and then another $5 in that says, why was the hero there? Shouldn't that matter? Another $5. So I guess we were talking at some point about heroes, etc. So let me send a heart through for that. So thank you. I appreciate you, Elle. I appreciate all of the people. Oh, we got another one in. $10 for the Proud Boy video. All right. So thank you all. I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you to my mods, Black Budafly, Pink Secrets. Thank you so much for coming out and modding in the chat, putting people in time out when they were acting up. And I will see you all. We'll do another live later tonight. Hopefully there's a few things that I need to do and get done today. So, oh, look, another cash app just came through. Hold on. Let me read that real quick before we jump out of here. I appreciate all of you. Okay. So Dominique sends in $10 and says, thank you. So thank you, Dominique. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the love. And there we go. There we go. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is doing what feeds you. Doing what feeds you. Feeding yourself with what feeds you and consuming less of what doesn't. You know? All right. Thank you all very much. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.